So let's just get this one over with so I can finish up. We have a vertical transverse axis. That's cool. Automatically, when I have a vertical transverse axis, I know that I have a specific equation. And that specific equation means a squared has to be under the y, right? So y minus k squared over a squared minus x minus h squared over b squared equals 1. So automatically, once it says, I'm about to sneeze. No, I'm not about to sneeze. Automatically, when it says vertical transverse axis, I know I can write that information. Without texting on my phone, I can write it down. Now, it tells me the center. So let's plot the center, which is at 1, 1. Vertical transverse axis. So therefore, I know my h and my k are at 1 and 1. The next thing is it gives us the transverse axis is 7. And the focal axis is 9. Ugh. Well, wait a minute. When we were given the conjugate axis, that was the distance from the covertice to covertice, which was equal to 2b. So that means the transverse axis is the distance from vertex to vertex, which would be 2a, right? So that means 2a is equal to 7. Well, 2 doesn't divide evenly into 7. Guess what? It's OK. A is now a fraction. What about b? Or focal axis, that's going to be from foci to foci, right? So therefore, that's going to be 2c is equal to 9. Oh, this is not good. 7/2, 9/2. Well, then what does b have to be? b has to be good, right? Hopefully. So let's figure it out. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. A squared is 7/2 squared plus b squared equals 9/2. I'm sorry, 9/2 squared. All right, so 7/2 squared. 7/2 times 7/2. You just multiply numerators, multiply denominators, guys, right? It's not crazy mathematics. That's 49 over 4 plus b squared. Here, so we have 49 over 4. Actually, I don't want to do it there. I'll leave it. 49, do I have more room over here? I do. OK. OK, so this is 49 over 4 plus b squared equals 81 over 4. Yes? It's not crazy. I know it's fractions, but you don't need to give up and say, I can't do this. This is just simple multiplication and subtraction. Now I do 49 over 4. 49 over 4. Well, guess what? They have common denominators, right? So we just subtract the numerators. So 81 minus 49, carry the 1, is going to be 32. B squared is equal to 32 over 4. Now, it kind of gets a little interesting here. When I replace my a squared and my b squared, a squared is, what did we say a squared was? A squared is 49 over 4. And b squared is going to be 32 over 4. Ooh, that doesn't look very simple. That doesn't look very nice, does it? Huh?
32 divided by 4 is 8.
Oh, yeah. Well, we can simplify this to 8. That's a good idea. But still, I don't like this fraction. I don't like fractions in the denominator, right? That's usually not like a simplified form that we would see, right? It's not really nice. So let's think about how could we rewrite dividing by a fraction? Well, dividing by a fraction is the same thing as multiplying by its reciprocal, right? Multiplicative inverse. But be careful with the word inverse because we know that inverse doesn't always mean reciprocal, as we talked about, like trigonometric functions, a little bit different. But anyways, I can multiply by the reciprocal. So my final answer is going to look like this. 4y minus 1 squared over 49 minus x minus 1 squared over 8 equals 1. And that's what you call wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.